He has shaggy, bright green hair and a bandana with a swirling, colorful pattern on it. The bandana is tied in the back with loose ends hanging down a foot and more. He's wearing an unbuttoned brown vest over a baggy white shirt. His pale blue pants flare out at the bottom, covering his sandaled feet that only become visible when he jumps. The trail leads to a wide trail, and parked along the side of it is a small bus. It's painted in garish colors with strange symbols. Colorful smudges depicting smiling faces, flowers, and butterflies obscure every window except for the front windshield. The inside of the bus is an assault on the senses. The smells are spicy, earthy, herbal, and thick. The floor is strewn with colorful pillows. The walls are scrawled with hand-drawn notes and diagrams and maps. But also there are several large devices of purpose unknown to you. Some are the size of a shoebox. Some are standing consoles with multiple screens and many dials, knobs, and buttons. Also, there are a few cases and satchels of various sizes. Once the door is closed, he turns around and just grins widely at all of you. He looks like this is the greatest day of his life. So the living room is large, or maybe it just feels that way because there's no furniture in it. There's pillows and beanbags all over the floor. The walls are covered in tapestries and posters, paintings, drawings. And then over there in the dining area, it's like a totally different house. There's a large desk with 4 screens sitting on it, a keyboard, boxes with blinking lights and stuff, a huge mess of papers. And there's a bookshelf next to the desk with 100 or so books and odd items in the empty places. These walls aren't covered, but there is a lot of stuff. There's a variety of charts, maps, one big topographic map with pins in it. And sitting at the desk, there's a man with a shaved head with his back to you. So once you all get in, Poxo looks toward the desk and says, "Vril!" The man in the chair turns around. He looks to be about the same age as Poxo, early 30s. He scans all of you, and then he looks at Poxo. This man is dressed conservatively. He's got a white button shirt with short sleeves, black necktie, black slacks, black shoes. He's just glaring at Poxo. Poxo says something very excited. Vril says something impatient. Poxo says something persuading. Vril says something fed up. You can't understand their words, but it's clear that this is a scene between the two of them that has played out many times. Vril stands up and just marches out the front door, which he slams shut. And then you hear the bus start up and leave. Poxo doesn't look the slightest bit embarrassed over this scene. He sits down, cross-legged, wraps the blanket around himself, and leans back against the wall thinking, with a big smile like a man whose all of his dreams have just come true. The front door opened, and the rising sun is blazing in. It startles all of you awake. The bald man stands there, just looking at the sight of bodies all over the floor. Poxo says, "Been telling, Vril." Vril looks around and says, "Perntudge," with disgust. Okay, well, the lip of the ramp doesn't even touch the ground before he, jumps up onto it and runs in. He's saying all kinds of excited stuff you can't understand. He's gazing at everything in awe and wonder, moving from object to object, from site to site, practically running, and that's just the cargo bay. When you guys get to the bridge, he takes a seat at the bridge and strikes a pose and says, "This kill me aspectus, cabo," and just smiles widely. He then spins around in the chair, and I don't know, it's a little embarrassing. He seems to be pretending that he's flying the ship.
Oh dear.
He's at contact. He doesn't seem to know any better. The dude is making sound effects and everything. He's going beep boop beep beep from the Poxo Rapanta Pertivak beep boop. And he just giggles and giggles. This is obviously a very big life event for him. So you guys would be discussing what you wanted to do next.
Yeah.
Vril becomes curious as he's hearing you guys talk. He eventually turns around in his chair and he's eating his dinner and watching all of you, a little skeptical, but he's listening. And as you guys are talking about this stuff, he opens a drawer and fishes out a small box. He looks very skeptical, but he says, "Mi estas Vril." Then he holds it out to you and pushes the button.
Okay. My name is Bardak.
He taps the screen and hands it to you, and it's a picture of a circle.